Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is the first episode of Building with Buster and also the first world tour. As you can see, I'm behind one of the first few builds, the log cabin, and currently we're I think about day 15, day 16-ish, so a little later than I would have wanted to record. But I actually did record this once. That was really early in the series, so I thought, let's record it again, just to be sure. So, I mean, we're at the log cabin first because it's actually in a different world save. I need to move it over. However, we can still start with the tour here. I mean, we got the little outhouse here, which just, yeah, that's all about the little outhouse. There's a beautiful view of this, like, lake river thing, and then another one in the distance. And it's just really nice out here. There's a campfire cooking probably some stew. Some logs that are currently being chopped down and placed for said campfire. And I guess the guy who owns this log cabin's clearing out the area because little gaps here. And heading into the log cabin, we see a nice cyan theme, and we got like a little kitchenette, a computer, and with some candles, a nightstand, and a bed. I mean, my favorite part about this is probably the roof, because I mean, it's pretty simple yet detailed at the same time. It's like curved, but also pretty, like, steep and sharp. I don't know, I just really like it. I mean, there's not much else in this world, so let's move on to the next builds. We're in a very different landscape already, just by switching worlds. But I would like to start here at probably actually no, this is the start of the world. I would like to start here at the start of the world, which was this hobbit hole that was suggested, I think, a day after the log cabin. But I really like this mangrove red color mixed with the copper bulb and this birch. Some people say they don't really like birch, but I think the light color can be used in a lot of nice situations. The lighter colored walls can go nice with sandstone and like darker floors. That kind of just like how I did here. So I installed as well this little dome for this bed. So while you sleep, you see this cool dome. And this was not in the YouTube short, but there was a little storage area on the side. I'll move myself over to the windmill over here. I mean, it was built right after the little hobbit hole over there, and I really like how this turned out. It was based off a Dutch windmill, not an actual Dutch one, but that windmill that was inspired to build this one was inspired by a Dutch windmill. So I decided, as well as the windmill, I'll put like rows of tulips. I mean, the blue ones aren't tulips, but they didn't have any blue tulips. But I think it looks really good, and looking next to it, a much more recent build, probably like 2 or 3 days ago, is this nice dark oak tree. I mean, it's very beautiful. Honestly, I was really happy with how it turned out in the time frame I built it in. All these builds are built within a day. I mean, a few hours to maybe multiple. But I added all these plants, and this tree just looks immaculate. Let's go back into the windmill to do a little interior tour. We got a spiral staircase leading up all the way up to there. Staircase ends here, but it's very beautiful in here. I was kind of making it out to be like a wizard tower. So we got the wizard storage. There's a bunch of plants, paintings. Go up here, we can see the tree. Bunch of buildings over there, which we'll get to in a moment. The bridge, which we'll also get to in a moment. I mean, we head to, I guess, the wizard's bookcases, where he stores his many spells. And, I mean, it just looks very immersive and full of life. Heading up to the top part, this is where I guess the wizard would live and sleep and test out new things. Maybe he needs to make a potion to go, I don't know, to go really fast. But yeah, I really like this little upper area, and I really like this whole building as a whole. This one would probably be my favorite out of all the builds here, just by a slim margin. The other builds are very close to beating it. But I really like how this turned out. It's really beautiful. So I guess now let's just walk over to the town. So as we approach, I want to show off this blockbuster first, because my friend Crystal and I, we built this together. This was actually the first build that was built together in the world, and it was also right after the windmill. So basically, while she built a parking lot and did all the cars, I did the building around it, and I mean, she made the decision to put all these cool banners, and it looks like there's like lots of movies inside the shelves. We got like Shrek, the Bee Movie, all those cool stuff. I added 2 little cash registers just in case, because how many entrances there are. Don't want anyone stealing. And yeah, it's just really nice. I actually never been to a Blockbuster, but I based it off a few images that I think it turned out close enough for at least Minecraft. I actually want to go over this side right now to John Fish Company. and ski bar. The ski bar was made up by my brother. He had the idea. He has a Roblox game called Munich, North Dakota, and this building's based off of it. I mean, it looks really nice. It's a more simple build. This is actually one of the easier builds for me because, I mean, no windows means less things that I need to put. So we got these mangrove chairs, some bookshelves, just in case you want to read a book or a magazine while at the bar. And moving in here, we got not too detailed, but a little kitchen. But what I really like about this place is, I mean, not only the sign, but when we walk past here, you get this nice view of the bridge from like these seating. You just look at that bridge from this view. It's so nice. It's like industrially designed. I mean, I don't know if big boats can pass. I don't think that many boats will pass under it. Looking right next door at John Fish Co. This was actually built the day before this one. This one's the most recent one out of the build, so this one's the second most recent. And flying around, I mean, I based it off kind of like a fisherman's building nearby a dock where they'd sell like their fish. I mean, there's outdoor seating, indoor seating, a lot of those like indoor-outdoor seating. And walking inside, see this cash table, there's a little booth. I mean, it's just all detailed. Every building here in this town will have an interior, just because I like building them. The waiter puts the little orders into here, and the chef, what he does is cut up the fish, cooks it, and then he places it on plates and sends it through the little pass-through. And finally, moving on to this little outdoor area. I mean, it's pretty similar to the other area, except he has a lot of nice windows and open colors. You can see all the colors around it. Now I want to move on to the bridge, because, I mean, I've been mentioning it. Why not display it? This bridge was, well, actually, yeah, it was one of the earlier buildings, in this town at least. I think it was before the park. Yeah, before the park. And basically, I had those ideas like those Appalachian towns that cross rivers, those industrial bridges. I mean, the whole idea of this town was like more of a romanticized Midwest town. But I've already built buildings that are not from the Midwest, so take it as you wish. But I really like how this turned out. I mean, let's move down to the park, because I think it looks really nice. I mean, we got the amazing statue of me. Obviously, that makes it like 10 times better than just from that. But we got a little gazebo, a little less maintained rose garden, and this like beautiful fountain. I mean, it's not beautiful only because I'm on there, but it's just nicely designed, and I really like how it turned out. Not much to say about the park, except there's a lot of plants, a lot of little things, and you can see a nice view, again, of the bridge. There's also a rock over there. Let's move on now to the building right next door to it, called Buster's Tedious Block Shop. It was actually for that other server I was talking about in the beginning with that building. House, I believe, the base for that server. I put this one in here because I thought it fit really well. I mean, even though it's a little small, it still fit. And it's actually the first time I ever used copper grates. So it was meant to sell like sand, gravel, dirt, all the likes, and I think it turned out really good for how simple it was. This building will actually do a tour at the end of the video, because this is the special building I decided will be built in this video. Just a little off topic before we start the rest of the tour. What I'm going to do each episode is basically I'm going to build one build within the town that, I mean, won't be shown on YouTube Shorts. So this one is the one that was not shown on YouTube Short. This little grocery store and lawyer's office. That's all I was going to say. I mean, we move on to this red building and this blue building. They had to be toured together because they're actually built in the same day. I built this one. Crystal had free reins to build this one. And the whole idea was that there was a red and blue building, but we decided to make it two separate ones. So it's a red building and a blue building. Let's start off with the red one with a little cafe that was built on the bottom floor. You can get some pretty cheap coffee, $3. It's not bad at all. And we go in here, we see a nice library. It's labeled in the Crystal's bookshop, and bookstores are usually right next to coffee shops, so why not put them next to each other? Head upstairs, see there's more books. We see Crystal's apartment, which actually I built this side. I built this one while she did the library. And if you notice, there was a little staircase heading up from the brick building into some apartments. They're not that large of apartments, but they have nice views of the town. I mean, you could see it's starting to actually become like a big little town. You could see buildings on every side almost. And here's I guess some might call it a New York style apartment because how small it is, but it's still a nice little area. Probably wouldn't live there though. Moving to the second floor, again, another skinny apartment, just a little bit larger. And this is the largest apartment within the area. I really like the view of this one. You see the roof over here, the bridge. You'll see a building here eventually. Then heading over here, we have a little upper area. I guess it's like a patio for the people who want like a little bit of outdoor space while not being down in downtown. So over here you can see like the restaurants, the lawyer office, the bookstore is right next to you. A few other buildings that way. And there's the fishing dock, which we'll get to in a moment. Moving down to over here, we see that we have, which, I mean, it could be considered like a cinema with just this part here, but it's actually a little music hall. I decided to go with an older style building because I feel like this would be like an old music hall. We walk up the Birch area and wait in line to get scanned into the area, and we see this nice long hallway of quartz floors, large paintings, big plants, seating, all if we're waiting for when we get into the theater, well, the concert. I mean, there's a little upper area as well, if you want to see from up here for a little extra, but I imagine this is for smaller artists just from the smaller size, and they even get a little back area. Heading upstairs, we got, again, this upper area. We got a little bar, just in case you want to drink before your concert. Or, like, you want some food, so they got a little bit of a cooking area. There's more paintings, more tables. We go outside, a little bench, and you can see, over here, a gas station and the fishing dock. Heading down, out of this building, because there's not much to go over there. Heading over here, heading down this way, just for a short moment, we see a little Japanese tea garden. It was originally requested to be a Japanese Zen garden, but I learned the difference was there's a lot less plants, but I really wanted to keep all those colorful plants and buildings, and so I decided to make it more of a tea garden than anything. There's a little bit of tables with chairs, a lot of fish in there with lily pads. Going here, there's a little building where you can have tea. I imagine they serve you here. And yeah, it's a pretty small park, so it's not much to say. Moving on to the last two buildings of the tour, we have it looks a little more dingy over here, but that's on purpose. We have the gas station, with a little expensive, but a lot more reasonable than some places for gas. And we have a little store where you can buy like chips, snacks, maybe bread, and you can maybe even get something on the shelf over there. Walking in here, there's a little bit of storage area. Very simple. I don't imagine they decorate back here. And, I mean, there's just a gas station. Moving on to the final building, which, I really like how big this complex turned out. We got the little like, fishing dock. I mean, I imagine the economy here is probably led by a lot of fishing, especially since there's so much water around it. There's an ocean over here, a big lake over here. They all connect up to form this one big ocean in the distance. This was originally a little bit of a mountainous area, but I used TNT in the episode to flatten it out and make it so boats can at least go through it. One of my favorite things about the build is probably this crane, which some of my friends say looks kind of like Grian's one from his Hermitcraft Season 10 base, which, yeah, I can agree a little bit with this part, but I think it looks a little bit different. It can move on these rails and can pick up stuff on any of these boats. However, there's these shipping containers, which I imagine trucks come over here, pick them up, bring them to the town, and bring them past and to like other cities. I mean, as we walk around here, you see that there's like fish on the ground. There's nice little worn down docks with their lights, different other storage from other boats, like they deliver crafting tables, barrels, maybe even like pots and all the cool things. And then we could finally go into the interior, which is the last interior as of right now. And I mean, it's just very, very, very nice. It's meant to be like an administrative building. Maybe fishermen wait here to get their info all sorted out. Maybe how much fish they transported and how much they had to pay. So yeah, that's currently, at least for about day 16, I believe, a tour of the world. Let's move on now to building that building over there and the tour of that building. Sorry for interrupting, but if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. It really helped a lot, and I'm also in a sub race, so yeah, it would help a lot. Okay, let's get back on with the video. Okay, so I mean, it's been a little while, but I think it's just the perfect time to start the build. So it's kind of more like a gray base, except for on the corners. Let's set our limits to about, let's say here. Let's move this out of the way. Paste. Perfect. So let's start with a base and how big we want this area to be, because we need to mark out. I like the shape of it. I want to keep the shape. Give it like a 2-block gap here. Window. I think that works. Be like, and down here, let's see. Tough would make a pretty good block for this. What other types of stone bricks are there? Mostly like, might actually need to be larger. Yeah, this turned out good. I mean, the whole idea is I'm basing it off that one building. It's gonna be pretty similar in terms of looks. I do have world edit if I wanted to use that. Slabs would look pretty good. Just need to make it look intricate. Like, whoever designed this build had a pretty good time designing it. Kind of like that, because it seems like a little bit of a gap. They actually, I mean, they all connect, but there's like a little bit of gap. Entrance needs to have the same exact pillars as every other place. This whole downtown is probably gonna have a lot of brick buildings. Yeah, like that. Now we gotta build the roof, which let's use deep slate and tiles. I mean, the deep slate tile brick is literally just the perfect roof brick. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. Certainly gives it a look. It's not the best look ever. I think I'll work on it as I'm building the rest of the building. But it's a good start. I mean, this is literally just a thing of figure out what looks good, and then you keep going with it. Whenever you're building, here's a little bit of advice. Whenever you're building, there's going to be a phase where it doesn't look that great, but the more you just place and the more confident with it, the better it's going to turn out. Yeah, just keep placing. It'll look good eventually. It's a little different from what the other building is, but that's fine. We want to be similar, but not exact. Yeah, it's a little different than the other building. Again, inspiration. We will actually probably change some of these tough blocks out, because too much tough makes it look, you know, bland, and you don't want it to look just bland. If you're building creative like I am, I really recommend World Edit for at least a few of these things if you want to make large pathways or different textures on the ground, and you don't necessarily have the time to do the texturing, because you can actually make some pretty good textures with it. This is just a simple little granite and bricks. Build the windows in. I use a borderless glass texture. You know what? Let's use andesite for the top part. A little bit of contrast never hurt no one. I mean, it could have. Who knows? I want this to feel like two separate buildings when going interior, because, I mean, it's going to be an apartment complex, or like a little bit of apartments. It could also be an office building, and some stores. I think it actually make more sense if this was like an office up here for like, let's say a law firm. Maybe the head office person is in here. A little break room over here. So, we have the roof filled in. So the building's technically almost done. But you don't want just a plain old cobblestone roof, would you? You want texture. So what we do is do / replace cobblestone 50% cobblestone, 50% mossy cobblestone. Lab. Now we got a nice roof. I mean, realistically, it's gonna be pretty gross up there because it gets rain and all the things puddle up and all the sorts. Now that we got all that, I think it's time for us to start filling in the floor, which I want to use a darker tone today than what I normally do. So let's do like. Looks good. Looks like all the wood's weaving in between each other. Now we can actually fill out this place. I think maybe a grocery store. Let's make a counter. Put it by the front so people trying to leave, actually gotta pay. Okay, let's build a little bit of shelving over here. Yeah, like 2 different aisles. Let's make it look like full of things. Maybe like both sides. Put some empty books, bookshelves. Make it look like these like shelves with random items. Yeah, it's a very skinny aisle, but I like it. Putting more pots down because I want to put some eventual plants. That was good. So I think I've decided now I'm going to do a time lapse for the rest of it. Otherwise this video will be like an hour long. So let's do that in 3, 2, 1, go. And after a decent time lapse, we're done. Let's do a little bit of a tour. I mean, this is not too much different from what you saw, except for the fact that there's plants on every corner now. Got little areas for people to work at, because I wasn't too sure where to put it here. It adds like a little bit more coziness, because it feels like it's more alive and people are actually doing things here. We go in here, we see the grocery store. You can buy glowberries, watermelon, carrots, apples, all the cool stuff. And over here we got our refrigerated section with all like the different types of meats and fish. Walking down here, we bring ourselves to the entrance of the law firm. I'll add a sign when someone makes a good suggestion of what the name should be. But here's a little reception desk. Go up here, here's a little waiting room. A little empty, but I imagine they have more money for the interior and less for the waiting. Then here's a little law office. We got room 1, number 2, their little break room because it's a small law firm. And then we go in here, we see the main office of the main person. I imagine this person probably is a little older because they own the law firm. They must have had a lot of time to build it up. So no computer on their desk right now. Maybe they're on vacation. Then we get this nice little view. Nothing on that corner yet, but it'll look nice once that's done. See the park, more of the park, and then there's me and a random pig over there. I mean, over the course of the next few YouTube shorts, if you're watching them, you'll see the whole area build up through you guys' suggestions, and I'll actually even take suggestions from the comment section here. So, yeah, tell me down below what you guys want. Well, I think it's time to end off the video here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to help me get to 5,000 subs. I'm currently in a sub race with my friend Bug. There should be a playlist on either one of these sides, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!